Welcome, my fellow intellects. Before we get on with the video, I just want to thank my fellow subscribers for supporting this channel. Thank you for leaving your positive comments and critiques because they help me to improve my videos. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a former Jamaican Prime Minister. His name is Bruce Golding. Tag along because this video is going to be exciting, informative, and educational.
My fellow Jamaicans, good evening. This afternoon, the Cabinet, in emergency session, took the decision to advise the Governor General to issue a proclamation declaring a state of public emergency for the corporate area effective 6 p.m. today. This decision was based on information and advice provided by the security forces that actions were being taken which posed significant threats to law and order in the corporate area.
Bruce Golding is the son of Tatius Golding and Enid Golding, both teachers. Bruce was the third of four children. The second, which was the only girl, died shortly after birth. In 1949, when he was only 2 years old, his family moved to St. Faith's district near Browns Hall, St. Catherine, where he spent the next 5 years. In 1955, his mother accepted a teaching post at Alpha Academy in Kingston. This necessitated that the family relocate to Kingston. As a child, Golding grew up in a political environment. He was only 2 years old in 1949 when his father was first elected as a member of the House of Representatives for West St. Catherine, a seat that he retained for 22 years until his retirement in 1972. Tatius Golding was the first Speaker of the House in independent Jamaica and also served as Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Housing. The Tatius Golding High School in Jamaica is named after him. Bruce Golding was born on December 5, 1947. He was educated at Alpha Primary School between 1955 and 1957, St. George's College between 1958 and 1962, and Jamaica College between 1963 and 1966. He entered the University of the West Indies in 1966 and graduated with a bachelor's degree in economics, second-class honors, majoring in public administration in 1969. In April 1966, Golding served as the school's head boy and as such was a member of the party that welcomed Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia to Jamaica College. In 1969, he was elected to the Central Executive of the Jamaica Labour Party at the age of 21 and was subsequently elected to the Parliament in 1972 at the age of 24. He served as General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party between 1974 to 1984 and Chairman between 1984 to 1995. He has had 19 years' experience as a Member of Parliament representing the constituencies of West St. Catherine and Central St. Catherine, as well as 9 years' experience as a Senator. He was appointed Minister of Construction in 1980, serving in that position until 1989, and in that capacity was elected Chairman of the United Nations Commission of Human Settlements between 1984 to 1985. He was the opposition spokesman on finance and chairman of the Public Accounts Committee between 1989 and 1995. He has served as a member of the Electoral Advisory Committee, the Board of Governors of the Institute of Jamaica, and the Board of Directors of the National Lotteries Commission. Bruce Golding, as leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, became Prime Minister following his party's slim victory in the 3rd of September 2007 general election and then Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller's concession of defeat 2 days later. The JLP defeated the People's National Party by a narrow margin of 32 seats to 28 with a turnout of 61.46%. This election ended 18 years of PNP rule and Golding became the new Prime Minister. Golding was sworn in by the Governor General of Jamaica on 11th of September 2007. Golding was the nation's 8th Prime Minister since independence. In April 2011, Bruce Golding said that Jamaica should break its ties with the British monarchy and become a republic. During his leadership, the Ian Flemings Airport was built in Boscobel, St. Mary. Roads and highways were built. In 2009, Jamaica's Prime Minister Bruce Golding announced to Parliament that Highway 2000 was to be renamed in honor of Usain Bolt. Those intentions were sidelined following a newspaper article claiming Bolt had rejected the proposal. Speaking during a budget debate, Golding said that transforming Jamaica from a monarchical to a republican state means no disrespect and must not be interpreted this way. In the 1990s, Bruce Golding and four other members of the JLP had a long standing conflict with then leader of the JLP, Edward George Siaga, which later led him to resign. At the end of the dispute, Edward reprimanded the Gang of Five, as he called them, by saying, "Light a candle, sing a sankey, and find your way back home." This meant that Bruce and his followers should come back as how they first came into the Jamaica Labour Party. Siaga also noted differences in his own approach and Golding's to combating tribalism, saying that his former lieutenant was theoretical while he was practical. My constituency represents the practical approach, and Golding's view represents the theoretical approach. The practical approach says that this is something that can be overcome, and we did for 5 years in West Kingston. The theoretics of life is not the way to do it. In 1995, Bruce Golding resigned from the Jamaica Labour Party and was one of the founders of the National Democratic Movement, serving as its first president between 1995 to 2001. In 2002, he rejoined the Jamaica Labour Party and in November 2003 was again elected chairman of the party. He was appointed senator and opposition spokesman of foreign affairs and foreign trade in 2002 and held both positions up till April 2005. On February 20, 2005, he was elected leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. In the same year, he was also elected Member of Parliament for West Kingston. He was leader of the opposition from April 2005 till September 2007. Now, after all of those achievements, this is where Bruce Golding messed up.
Bruce Golding has vowed to arrest Coke, wanted in the US on drug and arms trafficking charges. Golding had been under increasing pressure to execute an extradition warrant for Coke, whose organisation, based in the capital's slums, is a strong backer of Golding's governing Labour Party. The clashes have forced most businesses in the capital centre and all the city's schools to shut down, and news of the declared state of emergency has triggered cancellations by tourists, a mainstay of the island's economy. The government has not said how many of the reported civilian fatalities were Coke's gunmen or innocent bystanders.
An ABC Network article reported that Bruce Golding was a criminal affiliate of Christopher Coke. The article referred to a U.S. government document to sustain its position. Golding denied the accusation, and this U.S. government document has still not been produced. In a sitting of Parliament on the 16th of March 2010, opposition member Dr. Peter Phillips made reference to an alleged contractual agreement between the government and a United States law firm to lobby the U.S. government on a treaty dispute between the two countries. Extradition request for Christopher Dudus Coke, who is wanted in the U.S. on charges relating to narcotics, arms, and ammunition trafficking. The Golding administration refused to sign the extradition request on the basis that the evidence was obtained contrary to Jamaican laws. Golding denied claims that the U.S. law firm, was contracted to represent the Jamaican government. The U.S. Justice Department filing under the Foreign Agents Registration Act showed that the U.S. law firm had secured a contract worth $400,000 US to represent the Jamaican government in the treaty dispute. Carl Samuda, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, made a statement in which he noted that unnamed members of the Jamaica Labour Party had approached Harold Brady to see whether, through his wide network of international contacts, he could assist in facilitating the opening of discussions between the U.S. authorities and the government of Jamaica, and thereby seek to resolve what had become a treaty dispute between the U.S. and Jamaica. In a statement made by Golding on the 11th of May 2010 in Parliament, he revealed that he had sanctioned the initiative to lobby the U.S. government, but that the initiative was to be undertaken by the Jamaica Labour Party and not on behalf of the government. Following his revelation, the opposition People's National Party, its youth arm, the PNPYO, and the National Democratic Movement call for his resignation as Prime Minister. The U.S. law firm maintains that they were contracted on behalf of the Jamaican government through Harold C.W. Brady of Brady and Company and have severe ties with the Jamaican government. Instead of resorting to the leadership of the Jamaica Defense Force, the JDF, for information, Golding reportedly opted to rely on the foreign forces for information on allegations that the military, operating within his defense portfolio, was perpetrating atrocities on the people of Tivoli Gardens during the May 2010 incursion. On May 2010, in a television address to the nation, Golden apologized to the Jamaican people for his involvement in the U.S. law firm affair. He stated that he was prepared to step aside as prime minister and leader of the party in a meeting of the party executive. The executive rejected his offer and reassured their support for his role as party leader and prime minister. In his statement, he outlined new measures, including assigning some of his portfolio responsibilities to other government ministers and a renewed thrust to enact legislation for the impeachment of parliamentary members, term limits for the office of prime minister, and political party finance reform. He also confirmed that Attorney General and Minister of Justice Dorothy Light Horn will sign the authorization for the U.S. authorities to commence the extradition case against Christopher Cook. While there are some who may disagree, it is known that Bruce Golding was a man that was deeply rooted in Jamaica's politics. Thus, over the years, he has contributed significantly to the development of the country. Despite his failures in the end of his career, he has gained a lot of achievements.
Was it wise to tell him and to tell the country at large by a public broadcast that he was about to be arrested?
Well, with respect, Lord Gifford, having been one who has expressed some exasperation here at what you said was time wasting, I'm not making that accusation. But that question was asked of me before.
I'll ask it another way. Do you, with hindsight, regret that you went public at the time you did?
No, as I explained before, in the circumstances that existed at that time, I felt it was necessary for me to address the nation to resolve what had become a national crisis that had implications far beyond Mr. Cook. And it was something that required a definitive position that I had to communicate to the nation.
Okay, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that brief video of Bruce Golding. If you like my content, please support this channel by pressing the like button, leaving a comment if you like, or subscribing. Share my video to family and friends too. And also, please make some donation. I will highly appreciate any donations you make, guys, to support the cause. I want to thank my supporters for donating, and that one missed call, Miss Lewis. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate it so much. God bless you. Until next time, bye.